Rest, one thing at a time. Philippians 4 verse 13 is also a very inspiring passage that says, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." This means that with God's help, we can overcome any challenge that life presents us. In today's world, where anxiety is one of humanity's biggest concerns, life is full of challenges and difficulties. But with God by our side, we can face them head-on and with courage. We must always remember that He is our refuge and strength, and that we can rest in His peace and trust in His promises. In John 14 verse 27, where Jesus says, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid." This is a promise of peace and comfort that we can find in Jesus, even in the midst of life's difficulties. He gives us the peace we need to face any situation. In Romans 8 verse 28, Paul writes, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." This means that God can use all situations, even difficult ones, to help us grow and draw closer to Him. We must trust that He is in control of everything and that everything that happens in our life is under His care and direction. In Matthew 6 verse 34, Jesus says, "Therefore do not be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Sufficient for the day is its own trouble." This passage reminds us to live in the present moment and trust in God to take care of the future. The message of the Apostle Paul in his letter to the Philippians is very relevant for today, where anxiety is one of humanity's greatest concerns. The text teaches us to present our requests to God in prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, and thus experience the peace that surpasses all human understanding. However, we know that trusting in God and resting in His promises is often easier said than done. Life is made up of processes, and each one has its own time, stages, and struggles. It is normal to want to accelerate these processes, whether out of lack of trust, impatience, or other reasons. However, it is important to remember that things happen in God's timing, not ours. Resting teaches us to trust in God, who is the only one who knows the future and can guide us in the right path. There is nothing wrong with having dreams and plans, but it's important to remember that things won't always happen the way we expect, and that life often surprises us with unexpected and challenging situations. Therefore, the message of Philippians invites us to trust in God in every moment of life, regardless of the circumstances, because He is our refuge and strength. We should remember that He is in control of everything, and therefore, we can rest in His peace and trust that everything that happens in our life is under His control. Resting gives us the opportunity to reflect on our lives, to thank God for the blessings received, and to ask for wisdom and guidance to face the challenges that arise. We must trust that, just as God helped us in the past, He will help us in the present and in the future, and will always lead us down the best path. The message of the letter to the Philippians is an invitation to trust in God and rest in His promises. We cannot control everything that happens in our lives, but we can trust that God is in control of everything, and we can experience the peace that surpasses all human understanding and be certain that He will take care of us in all moments. When we face challenges or feel lost, we can seek comfort in God's words and find the guidance and wisdom we need to move forward.